Welcome to every holiday special reviewed on the Roundtable. I'm AwestruckVox, and we're starting a brand new tradition throughout the month of December, where we usher in the holiday cheer by reviewing as many, mostly animated, holiday specials as possible. Now, it won't be daily uploads, but expect them about 2 to 3 times a week. By me, Tom, and Nemo alternating as host. If we don't get to the special you desire this month, don't worry, there's always next year. If we're still around. Kicking off the series, we're going to start with what is without a doubt one of my favorite Christmas specials for one of my absolute favorite shows. Ed, Edd, and Eddy's Jingle Jingle Jangle. Ed, Edd, and Eddy is legendary. Let me get that out of the way. If you don't like it, you probably should be exiled from society. What makes this special so great? Everything. This special takes tropes and cliches you typically expect from cartoon specials to parody. A Christmas Carol, Three Kings, yet it manages to tell a pretty original story. We kick off with our, wait, let me get this out of the way.
A dickie?
We kick out with our money-hungry lead, Eddy, going Ocean's 11 through his presents on Christmas Eve. Severely disappointed and angered that he just has clothes upon clothes for Christmas. And honestly, this is so relatable. Up until high school, I was pretty aggravated whenever I opened up a gift, and it was like a polo and khakis. I'm here, a scrawny-ass 11-year-old Steve Urkel replica. Not a rich white man who can afford steroids to look good in these. But then in senior year, I decided to stop being ugly, discovering the value in free articles of clothing. Also, this scene legit taught me how to slightly open and peek at presents without completely destroying the gift wrap. Changed the Christmas game for sure. So how does Eddy handle receiving nothing but clothes for Christmas? By putting himself up for adoption! Yeah. Honestly, that's a pretty original concept. Trying to wing your way into another family to cash in on a better Christmas haul. It's also pretty fucked up, which is the norm for Ed, Edd, and Eddy. By going door to door, Eddy learns the different traditions and cultures each of the cul-de-sac kids indulge in, which I think was really smart and creative for specials at the time. And I swear to God, these scenes of Eddy going door to door, particularly Johnny's house and Rolf's song, are some of the best out of the entire series. I don't know why, but the thought of Johnny's parents, full-fledged adults, transforming their house into a snow fortress cracks me up. There's also another thing I love about this scene that I'll touch on later. Villains aren't born, they're made. Rolf's song is both catchy and surreal, and not only did the scene at Jimmy's cause me to develop a seasonal craving for gingerbread houses, but for Eddy to consume the entire thing just to say,
I gotta hand it to you, these cookies are to die for,
was delivered so perfectly that you can't help but to bust a gut. Now, the visits to Naz and Kevin's houses were the weakest ones, surely out of how predictable they were. Naz's advances onto Eddy was out of character, and you knew he was going to blow it. And you know how a trip to Kevin's house is going to end for Eddy. The predictability takes away the comedic value in these scenes. Double D and Ed witness Eddy struggling and devise a plan to help him discover the true meaning of Christmas, a la A Christmas Carol, sort of, which accumulates into their master plan, by changing a light bulb in a tree, I guess? I mean, it's a selfless gesture, goodwill, peace on earth. Eddy, you gosh darn saint, you deserve a medal. No, but seriously, I really do adore the scene. I'm a sucker for scenes without dialogue, letting just the visuals and music tell the story. So while it completely entranced me as a child, I just always have a big grin on my face when watching it now. It gets you into the feels. This sentiment actually gets through to Eddy, and the rest of the cul-de-sac gathers around the tree to admire its beauty. Even though they all have trees in their houses, we literally see them. But you know, it's supposed to be a touching moment, so let's just ignore it. As if he hasn't suffered enough domestic abuse, a giant red sack crushes Eddy, and what do you know? It's presents from Santa, the first adult we see on Ed and Eddy technically. I feel like Ed is the only one having a remote, genuine reaction to the fact an omnipresent being commanding a fleet of flying reindeer is just soaring above their heads. Staying true to form, Eddy hijacks the sack and dashes off with the gifts. The ads brawl over the sack, which results in it catapulting through the air and back to the cul-de-sac. Even holiday branding can't beat the status quo. And now to talk about the weakest part of the special, the Kangaroo Sisters B-plot. It's not necessarily bad, but more or less it's a, wait, let me get this out of the way.
Wieners and pennies?
More or less, it's a Three Kings parody. And while it lends to the more artsy shots of the special, the humor doesn't really stand out when compared to other scenes. And the payoff is just another joke of, haha, the kangaroos are sexually assaulting the Edds again. I swear to God, this is someone's fetish. Yet, that's something I admire about the special. It's not about the characters going on some grand adventure, or has any supernatural elements, typically missing from the regular premise of the show. It's just an Ed and Eddy episode in a Christmas setting. Everyone, except Naz, is in character. Even after learning the true meaning of Christmas, Eddy quickly gets back on his bullshit. Kevin didn't give in to Eddy's easy-to-see-through scam just because it's Christmas. Johnny and Rolf's holiday traditions were very in line with their characters. no one, except Naz, gets dumbed down or naive for the sake of the plot, unless that was their character prior to the special. Also, the highlight of the special is definitely the humor. Both dialogue and visual gags all throughout are just downright hilarious. Not only does this house have a giant slide made out of ice with an abundance of loops, but then Eddie attempts to prevent his exit by hanging on with his tongue. Yet it's no use as he still flies out the door, and Johnny walks on his tongue to scold him. That's just a brilliant visual gag that keeps building upon itself. Great art, great story, and a great one-off adventure that new viewers can still understand and still get a pretty good feel for the rest of the show. This special is one for the books. Even if you hate Christmas, I highly recommend this for cartoon fans everywhere. But as always, these are just my thoughts and I'd love to hear yours. What did you think of the special? How does it stack up compared to the average Ed and Eddy outing? Or among your favorite holiday specials? Let's get a discussion going in the comments or tweet your thoughts directly to me at AwestruckVox. You can also follow the Roundtable on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at Roundtable Vids, and on Snapchat at RoundtableYT. We have a Discord, Amino app, and Patreon. Swing by our store for some awesome merch. Links to everything in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like, share it with your friends, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, it really helps us out. Turn on that bell for notifications so you can never miss a video from the Roundtable. I hope you have a beautiful day, and AwestruckVox signing out.